our kids, the children. Now, there's no such thing as a perfect parent. Neither is there a rule book to parenting. But let's try and make common sense common again when it comes to our kids, our children, our little babies. Let's have the same patience with our kids that we have with other people's kids. And I'm not talking about the ones who be pinching little babies when the parent's not around, not them type of parents, but when the parent around, how you treat other people's kids. Give your kid that same grace. Show your kid that same love, that same amount of patience. Yes, discipline your kids. I know our kids get to the point to where we just want to knock fire straight from them. Discipline them, but love them too. If you disciplining your child outweigh the love, you got a problem. A lot of us as parents spoil our kids and don't discipline them at all. And the other half is heavy on the discipline and not showing affection. Let's operate in the 5 love languages when it comes to our kids too. Physical touch, high fives, hugs, kisses, daps. Let's get them words of affirmation. Tell them they're the best. Tell them that they're amazing, that they're going to be something big in life. Let's get them gifts and massages. Help with homework. Read them books. Read them Bible verses. It's healthy for kids to have imagination. A lot of our toddlers, our babies, they have phones and tablets and stuff. And sometimes we can get caught up in letting these devices babysit our kids. But let's do projects with our kids. Let's make slime. Let's watch movies. Let's have game nights. There's no excuse. No matter how old your child is, from toddlers to big kids, all we have to do is look on Amazon. We on Amazon for everything else. Type up board games or kid game or card games for toddlers ages 2 or ages 5, etc. You know, let's put in the same effort that we do with our partners and our friends. Let's put in that same effort with our kids. Our babies are fragile. Our kids are fragile. So let's pay attention to them. Let's be alert and attentive when it comes to our kids. I don't want to do too much or jump down nobody's throat, but in case y'all don't care about y'all kids, I care a whole lot about mine. And mine's growing up in a world with y'all kids. So let's just do better. Our sons and our daughters. So let's get on our baby girls too. Pour into your baby girl. Let her know how beautiful she is, how amazing she is, so she won't grow up in this world hating another woman or another female. Put all of that into her so she have no choice but to pour that back out. What you fill your kid up is what's going to spill right up out of them. If you get a cup and you put nothing but water up in there, once it fill up all the way past the brim, nothing but water is going to spill from that cup because that's all you done filled it with. So if you get a cup and you fill it with water and throw some dirt up in there, once it gets to the rim, that's what's going to spill out also, contaminated water. So, yeah, let's pour into our kids the things that we want to spill out from them. The school's going to give them knowledge and make sure they're smart. But pour wisdom into your children. Start building their faith. Don't project your fears onto your kids, placing limitations on them. And that's another thing. Most of our elder or mature generation, the older men and the older women, they look at our little babies and they say, oh, these babies advanced, you know, these babies crazy advanced. You know, we weren't doing that when we was little and X, Y, and Z. And while that may be true, it was a whole lot of limitations put on the elder generation when they were little. Back in them days, when they had Big Mama now, them people can't utter, mutter, or stutter anything before they get the hell knocked clean from them. So they wouldn't know what it is that they could and could not do because there were strict limitations put on them. So I wouldn't say to overdo it when it comes to discipline, you know, but find a balance between discipline and love and showing affection to your kid. Like I said, if your discipline outweigh the affection that you show your kid, you way out of line. My soul yearned, cries out for this upcoming generation of children. There's a handful of them that's intensely traumatized. They don't either watch the mother slaughter the father, or they don't watch their father slaughter their mother. And now they with Nana or somebody completely traumatized, gonna grow up with this level of trauma. So let's pay attention to them. Just because you are a parent don't mean that your kid don't have a voice. And I know a lot of parents, we say, well, our kids' attitude and mood is, so are we, and they don't pay no bills, so what? Okay, so that don't make it right. At the end of the day, their burdens are not our burdens, but they still carry burdens. We had kids that play basketball. We had kids that's in school. We had kids that work. Can you imagine trying to juggle a basketball game? That's intense. You trying to win this game. You got drama with a friend. You got a test coming up. They still carry baggage, you know? So let's pay attention to our kids. Let's talk to our kids. Have those intimate moments with our children. Now, when it comes to discipline, the teenagers. The girls is in a category on their own, but these boy teenagers is out of hand. Like in this day and time, the stealing cars and the street life mentality that's in our little boys, like, come on, man. We gotta do better when it comes to our kids for the sake of their life. You don't want to be burying your kid. Take heed, because warning always comes before destruction. So I was reading this scripture in the Bible, this coming from Proverbs 23, and it says, do not withhold discipline from the child. If you swat your child or spank your child with a reed like rod, apply it with godly wisdom. So if you are too holy, this your time to roll up off this video, because it's getting a little intense. But spank your child, apply it with godly wisdom. Translation, whoop their ass and tell them why you whooping their ass. And let the reasons and why they getting disciplined, let it line up with what thus said the Lord. Spank them and rescue their life from Sheol. I think that's what how you pronounce it. It's called Sheol. And Sheol is a place of darkness where the soul goes after the body dies. So yeah, tear their butt up, whoop their butt, and save their soul. Or else you as the parent will be the one that's brought to shame. Because the wages of sin is death. Now, I know we all sin, but there's some sin that leads up to death, and there's some sin that's not. So if you let me paint this picture the way that I get it, it's like we got these two ropes. We got the rope of righteous, you know, and I ain't talking about you got to be super holy. When I say righteous, I mean love on people, do right by people. So we got the rope of righteous, which leads to life. And then we got this rope of sin that leads to death, which is the stealing, the killing, the robbing, all that. And it's like we got these two ropes, and some of us we done wore out our welcome with one of these ropes. We only got so much rope left on this side for it be the end of us. So it's for us to, the Bible got a recipe for it. It said, turn from your wicked ways. So turn from that way and go the righteous way. Pray, humble yourself. Come to a humble posture. Lord, I apologize. I'm sorry for my sins, known and unknown. Turn from your wicked ways. Humble yourself. Pray to your Father, and your Father in heaven will hear. You'll wake some clean up, and your Father in heaven, He will hear you, and He will heal your land. What's your land? Everything around you. We got a whole spiritual garden around us. The things that you say, them are seeds. You plant those. The things that you do, them are seeds. You plant those. So we got this land around us, and we done planted some stuff, and we get the harvest of it, and now we got some calamity in our life. So yeah, pray to your Father, and all this stuff that you done planted, allow Him to uproot that stuff and heal your land. A lot of our kids, we condoning in a lot of their BS. I'm going to say it because it needs to be said. Some of us are pretty much failing our kids. It is what it is. I don't know what other way to say it. But do better. It ain't too late for you to hear it. And as long as you waking up with breath in your body, you got a chance to get that thing right. You don't have to beat yourself up about it. But let's work towards, let's write down the parent that we want to be. If we need patience, we need to write that thing down Write the vision, make it plain, and let's pray about having patience to our kids. Get these kids in line. Better yet, get yourself in line first before you can get your kid in line, because a lot of this our kids see us do. And let's not be some do as I say, not as I do parents. Let's lead by example, for real, for the sake of their soul and ours. So yeah, that's really all I have on our kids and our children. Let's do better by them.